So this is the Insurance 101 call. And what this call is about is training basic or new agents on the basic sales process of selling life insurance. So today, what I want to go over is what happens when you get into a sales drought, right? What happens when you've been doing so well and then all of a sudden something happens and you go on a streak where you're not selling anything, you're not helping any families? What happens when you're all of a sudden on a consistent basis and then all of a sudden you're not? And it seems like every time you buy a batch of leads, it's the leads, right? So you buy another batch of leads and then it's the leads again, right? And then all of a sudden you start changing things and now it's like, where did I go wrong? What happened, right? Everybody goes through it. It's a season, right? MLB players, NBA players, golf players, they all go through a season of drought, right? Sometimes people want to call it a slump. I'll be honest with you, I don't like calling it a slump. Why? Because I don't want to acknowledge that I'm in something, right? So the way to get out of not having a sales consistent basis is really simple. Massive imperfect action, right? If we're not selling anything, if we're not talking to enough people, let's say that we're going to set some appointments and the appointments just aren't setting. Guess what? Set more appointments. And sometimes those won't show up. 50% of them aren't going to show up anyways, right? So set more appointments. If you set appointments a half an hour to 15 minutes apart, you set 20 of them a day, your chances of showing some of those are going to be pretty high, right? One thing to think about is to not change anything, right? Don't change anything in the past, right? Because you've already done something right, and you know that you've done something right. So there's no reason to change anything in the past. You're not doing anything wrong. You just need to do something different, right? Maybe change something in the future to make it better, right? In other words, if you're used to selling final expense and you're used to saying the same thing over and over again, maybe sell final expense, but try an add-on every single appointment that you have, right? Try to do something to make you better, not change anything that got you to where you're at right now, right? And then another thing that we need to think about is the future, right? One of the things that gets us into a drought is thinking about, the things that we do on a daily basis, the things that got us there. And then you start to dwell on them. And the things that we think about the most are the things that our mind is going to focus on the most. And those are the things that you're going to attract the most. Okay. And so when we think about the things that we've done in the past, like these leads suck, I don't want to call these leads, right? I should have never bought these leads. Oh man, I gotta make some more appointments today, and it's not going to work out because for the last 2 weeks I haven't made any appointments. That's negative thinking right there. But you're putting it out there in your mind that that's what's going to happen, because your mind doesn't know the difference between right or wrong. It only acts upon what you think about, right? And so if you think about negative thoughts all the time, that's what you're going to get. Okay. So what we need to do is change our mindset. And how do you change your mindset? Well, for one, you can listen to personal development. You can listen to podcasts. You can watch YouTube videos from people that are inspiring. Get inspired, right? One way to get inspired is to set some goals. Look to the future. Don't look in the past. Look in the future. Okay. What's my next year what do I want my next year to be like? And then write that stuff down. Create a story in your mind of what you want that next year to be like. Break it down into 4 quarters and then break it down into 3 months. Work on those 3 months, because those 3 months will get you to your first quarter. Then that first quarter, you're going to be a little bit further ahead than you were when you first started, right? So set small goals. Think about a purpose. When you're looking at a month, break it down into 4 weeks, right? If you want to make a dollar amount goal of a certain amount that you want to make over a course of a month or 3 months, look at what you did in the past, okay? Not worrying about what's going on right now in your life, but look at the numbers of what you've done in the past and multiply that times 12 months. And then back it down to what it is per month and say, okay, that's what I know I can do in the next month. And then what do you need to do? Take massive imperfect action. Massive, massive, massive imperfect action. By doing by focusing on massive imperfect action, what are you doing? You're focusing on one thing, right? At a time. And when you focus on one thing, focus stands for follow one course until successful. And when you do that, your mind starts to tweak a little bit here and there to figure out how to make that one thing better, right? If you think of like a master chef, they've made certain meals over and over and over and over again. But what makes them a master chef is they've tweaked it every single time just a little bit to add just a little bit more of this ingredient or just a little bit less of this other ingredient. And all of a sudden that food just tastes so extraordinary that's the reason why people want to go to that restaurant, is because of that specific master chef, right? The reason why MLB hitters, Major League Baseball home run hitters are where they're at is because they've hit the ball hundreds of thousands of times. But what's different is they've tweaked it just a little bit to become a little bit better. Not looking in the past of what they did, but looking at what they're doing right now and tweaking it to get just a little bit better. And as they tweak a little bit, maybe they twist a little bit in their stance a little bit. Maybe they have their bat up just a little bit higher, and maybe their elbow is up just a little bit higher, just to get that ball just a few more inches. And they've done that over a lifetime and become a master at it. And now that's why they're in the major leagues hitting home runs, right? It's the same way in the sales process. I am, and you are where you are right now because of all the decisions and the choices you've made in the past. Okay. I have over 30 years experience of sales. And so the reason why I can sell a little bit more than the average person that just comes into the business is because I have a sales background, right? I've tweaked everything just a little bit to become a little bit better. And it's either the way you say it or it's how you say it, right? There's 2 things right there that people can look at as well to kind of help themselves get out of a drought, right? If you're calling somebody up, and another thing that you can look at is your attitude when you call somebody up. When you're on the phone with somebody, are you happy-go-lucky, cheerful, have the attitude of, I want to help this person? Or are you like, you know what, this person's just going to hang up on me. I don't even want to deal with this right now. I got something better I need to do, but I know I need to make money. I got to sell a policy so I can put some food on the table for my family. It all depends on the mindset that you have, because when you have a certain mindset, it's going to come out in your words. It's going to come out in your attitude. And when it comes out in your attitude over the phone, they can't see you. They can't look at your body language, but they can sure feel the spirit that comes through your voice. because that spirit can shorten. Maybe a word gets shortened here and there. Maybe a sentence gets shortened because you're a little bit upset. Maybe some detail didn't get put into the conversation that you most likely would put in that conversation if you had a better attitude, right? If you call up somebody, here's an example. I'll give you a couple examples. If you call up somebody and you're like, hey, Joe, yeah, this is Sean. I'm just giving you a call back regarding that final expense form that you had filled out. This is in regards to the burial programs that are going on statewide right now. That's one way of doing it. Another way to do it is, yeah, Joe, yeah, this is Sean Simpson. I'm just giving you a call back here. This is in regards to the final expense programs that are going on statewide right now. Yeah, they just want me to go over the options with you quick. It only takes a few minutes. Grab a pen and paper. Let me give you some information to write down, okay? Which one of those would you most likely be attracted to listen to? Probably
Second one.
the first one, right? The second one, right? So that's another thing to think about when we're on the phone and we're trying to get out of a drought, right? What's your attitude like? Do you have the attitude of a winner? The attitude of, I want to help this person? The attitude of, I want to do the best I can to help this family get protected? Or do you have the attitude of me, 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 me? I need to make a sale. I need to have commission coming in so I can put some food on the table for my family. I need to do this. I need to do that. In this business, in any sales business, that's not going to get you anywhere. If you have an attitude of, I want to help this person, that will get you somewhere because they can feel it. They can hear it in your voice. When you're in person, they can read your body language. Are you up and excited, or are you down like this? Right? Is your eyebrows up like they're excited, or are they down like this? Right? That all is a telltale sign. Well, they can feel that when you're on the phone with somebody. They don't need to see you. They can feel it right through the phone. And so, like Quentin Kelly, one of my good buddies, you guys know him, he dresses up to go to work in his house. And I think that's fantastic because it sets a mindset to himself that, look, I'm going to work and I'm going to help some families, right? Even though he's walking probably 2 hallways away to go to work, right? It's about the mindset. It's about helping that next family, not me, 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 right? So another thing, I'm going to say it again. I keep saying it over and over and over again. This is the most important thing, is taking massive imperfect action. If you're in a drought, you don't have any appointments, or you're setting appointments and the appointments are not showing up, right? Then guess what? Set more appointments. Set more appointments. It's simple as that. If you all of a sudden are setting massive appointments and they're not showing up, the only thing you have left to do is set more appointments. Instead of scheduling your appointments 2 hours out, schedule them an hour out. If you're already doing an hour out, schedule them a half an hour out. I promise you, you may get 1 out of 100 that is going to be upset if you are super late on the call. But here's the reality. If you let them know that you're going to be late, most people understand. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Because if they're going to show up and they want some insurance, they're going to be there. And you can even text them while you're on a call. It really is not that hard to text somebody while you're on a call with a previous client and let them know. And you can even let your client know. Say, hey, I'm going to shoot a text over to my next client. Let them know I'm going to be a little bit late. And they'll appreciate that. And if they're going to be there, they're going to be there. If they weren't going to be there in the first place, then guess what? You got a no-show. And guess what? Your next appointment is right around the corner because you booked them so close. Jamie talked about this on the call on Monday. But by taking massive, massive, massive imperfect action, the biggest key that it's going to do for you is help you build momentum. And that's what you need, is momentum. Positive momentum that's going to help you get the ball rolling, right? Because all of a sudden, if you book 30, 40 appointments and all of a sudden one of them shows up, but guess what? That one that that showed up, you sold and you help protect that family. That's going to make you feel really, really good, because I guarantee you in this business, there's a lot of people out there that have been looking for insurance. They've been turned down and they're waiting for you to call them and help them and say, you know what? I can get you coverage. Well, I've already been turned down. I've already been denied. They said I can only get guaranteed issue. No, I can help you out. And then you help that person. Guess what? That's going to make you feel darn good. And the next appointment you have, guess what? Now your attitude changes. And the next appointment that you have, that person, they may buy as well. Now you got a couple of sales down your belt, right? Even if it's the next day. And you keep the massive imperfect action going. And eventually, once you do that, it's all going to work out in the positive for you, and you're going to have a lot of momentum. Now, here's what causes a drought. When you have momentum, the opposite way, right? When you have momentum, then you say, oh, well, good things are going. I got money being deposited in my account. I just helped 5 families. I got money being deposited into my account. I'm good to go. Let's go buy a ton of leads. And then all of a sudden you're waiting for your leads and they don't show up on time, and you get a little bit anxious, and or you're trying something different and it doesn't work out. Look, always have a baseline of a type of lead that you love to work, that you know that works. In our ILC, we have leads in there that are there all the time. You guys get good at one of those lead types, just one of them. You'll never, ever, ever run out of leads again. Then you can try other things with other lead vendors or lead types, right? If you like the instant internet leads, make that a baseline lead, right? Get really, really, really good at it. Master it, right? Because those leads wouldn't be in there if people didn't sell them. Those leads wouldn't be in there if people didn't buy them, right? They've been in there for years and they just keep coming. And so they're all good leads, right? You just have to be good enough to work them. Don't default the leads. Just you get better at working the leads. And when you do that, you're going to have a baseline lead. Now you can try different things. Now you can go into mortgage protection and try those, get good at those. Now you can go in and work IULs and get good at IULs. You can throw some annuities in there, right? There's all different kinds of things that you can do, but get really, really, really good at a final expense baseline lead. That way you always got something to fall back on, okay? Build the momentum. Get going really, really good, and don't stop. What's really, really hard, again, if you're on a bike and you get going, you can pedal real easily and go pretty darn fast. But if you're on a bike and you make a complete stop, you got to pedal pretty hard to get that bike going again. Gas mileage in our cars are very, very high. The most time that we use the lowest gas mileage is starting to accelerate. Coming from a complete stop to accelerate takes up the most gas mileage, because you're taking a 1, 2, 3 ton vehicle and stopping it and then getting it to go again. It takes a lot of gas to do that, right? It's the same way with us. If you build momentum and just get on an even keel of what you're doing every single day, and do the same thing every single day, whether it's boring or not. That's what top producers do, by the way. That's what top successful people in any business does, is they get up and they take action and they do it, and they do it massively every day, no matter how they feel, no matter how their emotional capability is, no matter who they are. They just get up and they do it because that's just what they do, right? They go to work and they work from sun up to sundown, or work their schedule, just because that's what they do. And when you do that, you get on an even momentum. And guess what? Nothing can phase you when you got a momentum. A locomotive train is really, really, really hard to stop once it gets going. You can slam on the brakes and those things will squeal for a long time. once it's going, right? It takes a long time to slow it down, right? But once you get going and build that momentum, it's going to take you a while to slow down too, right? So all we do is build the momentum, take massive action, right? If you stop, now you have to start taking massive action again. And so we don't want to stop. We want to keep building. That's why it's important to have a good schedule, right? A good schedule, and you work that schedule and get in a habit of working that schedule. That will help you build that massive, take that massive action and build momentum. Okay. So here's, I want to tell you something that I learned from Zach Twardowski, and you guys might have heard this story before, but he had been setting, 10, 15 appointments when he first started, and he went to go talk to Mark Mead. If you guys don't know who Mark Mead is, he's one of the integrity partners. And Mark Mead's been in the insurance business for like 15 years. And Zach went up to him and he said, "Hey, how can I start to have the success selling life insurance like you do?" And Mark looked at him and he said, "How do you expect yourself to have my success when I've been doing this for 15 years?" And he said, "There's no possible way that you're going to have the success that I'm having. You can't compare your numbers to my numbers because I've been doing this for 15 years and you've only been doing it for a year." And he said, "The only difference that you can do that I don't do is outwork me." And so at the time, Mark Mead was setting 20 appointments a week. And Zach Twardowski, he's the one that came up with the 30 appointment a week schedule. And ever since then, everybody else started doing it because he said, "You know what? I may not be as good as him, but I know I can outwork him." And so he started setting 30 appointments a week. Okay. 15, they were running in-homes at the time. They would, on dial day on Monday, he'd set 15 appointments on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, he'd set 15 appointments for Friday and Saturday, and they'd run in-homes all the time. And all of a sudden, he got on that massive imperfect action and started building momentum, and his sales went up like crazy. Because when you're taking massive imperfect action, your brain is focusing on one thing. That's why I like to set appointments. I do one call closes every now and again just to change things up. If I get a little bit bored or my mind gets a little bit bored, I'll do one call closes for a half a day or something. But I generally like to do appointments with husband and wife together because I like to run a mortgage, right? And so when I'm setting appointments, that's all I'm doing. I'm just setting appointments. My schedule is blocked out. I hit focus on my iPhone. Nobody's calling me. Nobody's texting me. If they do, I don't get it because I have focus on. And focus stands for follow one course until successful. And you take massive imperfect action, just call people all the time, just setting appointments all the time. And guess what? Before you know it, I mean, you're going to have people that are like, "Oh, I can't make it." And all of a sudden, boom, you got an appointment already set up. There's times where I'll have like it seems like a perfect schedule. And I think every single one of these are going to show up. What am I going to do? Right. And all of a sudden, I got a 4 o'clock, I got a 4:30, a 5, 5:30, and a 6. And it's 4 o'clock and that person shows up and I'm like, okay, but you love the one you're with. You take care of the family that you're with. You protect the family that you're with, right? And all of a sudden 4:30 shows up, I text them and I let them know I'm going to be running a little bit late. I don't hear anything back. And I get off my call at about 4:50. I call my next call, which is the 4:30 one. They don't show up. Now I'm right on time because I got a 5 o'clock coming, right? And I thought that when I went to set that appointment, that it was going to be a perfect appointment. They were going to show up. They want the life insurance, and all of a sudden, they're not there, right? So that's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. It's all in your mind, right? Because leads are leads. They're all the same leads. We're all running the same leads. Some leads are better than others. But can you pull policies out of every single type of lead? The answer is yes, right? It all takes massive imperfect action. Don't look at the end goal. Don't look about how you're going to sell that person and what if you're going to do, what are you going to do if you you don't sell this person, or what are you going to do if you do sell that person? Okay, I got this amount of money coming in. No, don't think about it that way. When you're going into a call, enjoy the process. Have fun with the process. Don't think about the outcome. When you think about the outcome, that's when your head starts to mess up, right? Enjoy the process, enjoy the conversation, have fun with the people, make them happy, work for them. Don't think about you. This isn't about you. Okay. The more you think about other people, in fact, Zig Ziglar always said, in order to get what you want, you need to help enough other people get what they want. And if you help enough other people get what they want, you're definitely going to get what you want for sure. So I'll just leave it on that. Let's do some role play here. It's already a little bit past 8:30 here, so I want to get some role play in. I hope that adds value to you guys and helps you guys out, because I've been through a ton of them in my life. Being in sales for over 30 years, I've gone through lots of droughts. I've called myself being in a slump. I try not to acknowledge it anymore. A season is a season, right? Just like winter. When we're in a winter, guess what's coming next? Spring. And that's what we need to look forward to, is spring. So, okay, let's do some role play. Who's up for role play today?
I'm up just because I had something very personal take place. If you want to take care of it, it's cool. If not, that's okay too.
Okay. Kelly, I just see your hat. I didn't know your hat talks.
No. I just shaved my head.
Oh, okay. But I just see your hat on camera.
Okay, well.
So do you want to do a role play?
Yeah, we can do that. I've got no
Okay.
problem with
All
that.
right. All right. So do you want to be now I just see your chest. Do you want to be the client, or do you want to be the agent?
I can be the agent. That's cool.
Okay. Who wants to be the client for Kelly? Nobody wants to do role play?
I get
That's what we're
called
here
out.
for.
I get called out too much. So
I guess I was leaving room for somebody else, but I can do it if nobody else wants to.
Okay, you be the client, Hytham.
All right, I'm hanging up on you.
Okay.
all
Okay,
right.
let's just do this. I want to get a bunch of role plays in. So let's just set appointment. Let's practice setting the appointment, because the reality of it is the better we get at setting appointments, the better we're going to get, the more appointments we're going to get. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Let's do it. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, hi, this is Kelly. I'm just getting back to you regarding, it looks like a form that was filled out. And I just want to verify your birth date is January 20th, 64. Is that correct?
Yeah, what is this about?
Well, most people fill these out, because they're essentially looking to make sure their loved ones, are not burdened by the final expense of their passing or their cremation, or, want to leave a legacy. What is it you're looking for?
I want to make sure I don't leave that burden behind for my kids.
Okay. Well, I think that's a very good statement. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had to participate in someone else's burial or anything like that financially?
Yeah, of course. My dad passed away, and we had to take care of that. He didn't have a policy.
My condolences. How long was that, Hatem?
5 years ago.
Okay.
Don't forget, we're just setting the appointment. We're not doing a one call close.
Okay. So, Hatem, if I can ask, all I need to do is I got to drop off some information to you. Okay, give it to you and make sure you understand it. And I'm been appointed to your neighborhood tomorrow afternoon. What works best for you, 3 or 5? Let me know.
Oh, I'll be at work at that time.
Okay. What about your wife? You married or single?
Married.
Okay. What time will, what is your wife's name? My apologies.
Cheryl.
Okay. So when and you or Cheryl going to be home tomorrow night?
Well, I work days and she works nights. The only time we both be here at 7 o'clock.
7. Let me look at something real quick. 7. What about 6:45 or 7:15? Which one of those works best?
I mean, you can try, but can't guarantee that she'll be here at that time.
Okay. Well, this is very important,
Right.
So, and I commend you for looking into this because you already said, you've had the experience of dealing to, have to deal funding with someone else's passing, which is unfortunate. And I can relate with my mother and two of my best friends. So, are you the decision maker or she, or do we really need to have both of them there?
I mean, I wear the pants, but I'm not sure where you're trying to get to with this because you're asking for my wife, and I just told you that she won't be here till 7.
All right. Well, boss, here's the thing. If you make a decision and she doesn't like it, you'll be sleeping on the couch for the next week.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Okay. And I'm just being straight up. You got it?
So maybe Saturday will be better then. Saturday will be a better day.
Well, today's what? Let's see. Okay, Wednesday. So when are you both home on Saturday together?
11 a.m.
That Eastern time or
Eastern time, yes.
9 o'clock my time? Okay, I need you to do a couple things. You got that pen and paper close to you? I never asked you for it before, but do you have it?
I do.
Okay. Write down my name, Kelly Gerards. This is my national license number. And what is your email, by the way?
123@gmail.com.
Okay. I just sent you my digital business card. I'm going to email you my digital business card with a little follow-up, before we get together. Because if your wife is not going to be around, but you need to talk to her, then we got to do that. This is not like buying a gallon of milk at 11, 7-Eleven.
She'll be around at 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just told you that.
Okay. Well, she's not going to be going out shopping, doing stuff.
Look, man, you gonna set the appointment or what?
Okay. So you got that written down? And you got my license number?
Yep.
Cool beans. I'll be talking to you and your wife Saturday morning.
All right, thank you.
All right, Kelly.
No, I wasn't trying to be aggressive or an asshole or anything. I'm just like, this is reality when you're talking to someone, you got to pay attention to what they say, because I already told them that Saturday will be a better day at 11 o'clock. Me and her will be there. So he should have just ran with it and just booked it, or said 11:30.
I agree. So whenever originally on the first night when you set the appointment, and he said that his wife wouldn't be home till 7 o'clock, just say, okay, no problem. I don't have a 7 o'clock, but I do have a 7:30. Would that work for you and the wife? Yeah. Because the longer you keep them on the phone to set the appointment, the longer it's not going to work. The longer they're not going to be there.
Why is that?
To show up. Because you're kind of dragging it out, right? I mean, an appointment is to be set really quick. You're just calling to set an appointment, not have a conversation, right? It's just an appointment, right? Think about when you call the doctor, where the doctor calls you. The doctor calls you and says, hey, we need to get you in here to check out your prostate. and they call to set an appointment. They're not going to sit there and, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. They're just going to set the appointment real quick, Kelly. Does that make sense?
Well,
So,
yeah,
okay.
I most definitely get it, but I'm not here to set appointments.
Okay. Well, that's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And the reason why we're doing it right now is because every day, even if you do a one call close, and even if you're going into a one call close and they're too busy or they can't do the appointment, or I mean, they can't do the one call close right there, you have to set an appointment. Right.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise, if you're not setting appointments and you're only doing one call closes, you're leaving a lot of families helped on the table. Because you could literally be helping a lot more families if you just get really good at setting appointments. Okay, I'm gonna do one. Who wants to be my client?
Why don't you be my client?
You want me to be the client for you, Hytham?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sure. Go ahead.
We're only doing we're booking an appointment, right?
That's correct.
Final expense or mortgage protection?
It's up to you.
All right, let's do mortgage protection.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful. My name is Hytham Elor, and I'm reaching out to you from Mortgage Protection Now. And the reason for my call is you had went on our site and you filled out the form requesting some information about the mortgage protection for your home. And I see here that you have your mortgage balance is $200,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. So I'm just calling you in between my appointments just to set an appointment so I can dedicate my time for you. And want to see are you looking for this type of protection for you or you and the wife as well?
Just for me.
Just for
I
you?
just want to get some information though.
Yeah, perfect. So
I don't want to buy anything right now. I just want a couple quotes.
Perfect. So for one, I'm not the sales guy, so I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to try to help you see what your options are and what you can qualify for. Okay. So I can set an appointment. I'm just calling you in between my appointments right now just to set a good time so we can dedicate my time for you and see what I can help you with. Are you currently at work?
I'm out shopping around. Why?
All right, perfect. No, I'm just asking when would be a good day for you? If I can give you a call later on today.
No, today's not very good for me.
Okay. And how's tomorrow looking for you?
Tomorrow's not looking good for me either. How long does this take?
This is just gonna take a couple minutes. Just schedule an appointment and then I'll get you off the phone, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so for when is a good day to give you a call?
Probably next week.
Well, why so long? You got things going on?
I do. I got a pretty busy schedule. Is there any way you can just mail me over some quotes?
I wish I could do that, but qualifying for this type of coverage is based on your age and health. So I have to ask you some questions so I can get to know about you. Sure. And that will give me a good idea of which carrier might approve you or might not approve you. Okay. And like I said, this is based on age and health. So not everybody gets approved. And that's what I'm here for, to try to see what I can get you approved for.
Okay.
Okay. So I usually don't do appointments that far out. But we'll do an exception for you because you have some things going on. What's a good day next week?
Probably Friday.
Friday? Do you prefer mornings or afternoons or evenings?
Well, that day I have off.
Oh, so you're off all day. Okay, perfect. I do have an 11 o'clock in the morning available. Would that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Can you grab a pen and paper for me, please?
Got it.
Just want you to write down a couple of things. So my name is Hytham. It's H-A-I-T-H-A-M, last name E-L-O-R-R. And I just want you to write down Friday the 24th, 11 o'clock in the morning for our appointment.
Okay.
And next to it, can you please write down important? Important, that means it's just to remind you that this is important because this is for you and your family, to protect you and your family. So it's important for you.
Okay.
Okay. So I have the appointment set for next Friday, the 24th at 11 o'clock. Do you see any reason why you can't make it to the appointment? Any doctor's appointments or any appointments that you might not you might have?
No, unless my wife has something going on.
Okay.
She
All
won't
right,
be
perfect.
at work yet, but yeah.
So I'm gonna call you next week on Friday on the 24th at what time?
11.
Perfect. All right, wonderful. So I'm gonna send you a text message once I set that appointment, and you can get a text message confirming that I set the appointment. And you have yourself a wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you next Friday at 11 a.m.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
So not bad, not bad. I think you need to control the conversation a little bit more, meaning that you need to set the appointment according to your time, not their time. Right? Because if you're trying to set 10 appointments a day, and everybody tells you that, I can't do it tomorrow, or I can't do it the next day, or I can't do it, until next week. Now you're going to have scattered appointments all next week. And the longer they go out, the chances are they're going to find something that comes up, or some other agent is going to call them and do it that night. And then all of a sudden you'll call them back and they're going to be like, oh, well, somebody else helped me out and I already got a policy. I've had that happen before too.
Me too. That happened to me as well.
So, okay, I'll be the agent. You want to be the client?
Sure.
All right. I'll set a mortgage protection appointment. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi them.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Sean Simpson. I'm just giving you a call back regarding that mortgage protection insurance card that you had filled out and sent into our office. Yeah, they just want us to go over the options with you. I can't do it at this time. I'm kind of in between appointments here, but I want to make sure to reach out to you and the wife and get you on the schedule here. What time do you and the wife usually get back in the door from work?
I work days and she works nights. So the only time we see each other is around 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at night?
Yes.
Awesome. What time do you go to work?
Well, I get off work at 5. By the time I get home, it's like 5:30. And she leaves the house at 7.
At 7. Okay. So 6 o'clock. Look, I might be able to give you a call. 6 o'clock might be tough, but I can squeeze you in at 5:45. Would that work for you?
Yeah, but that just might cut it close if I run into traffic. Just a heads up.
No problem. I can wait for you. I may be running a little bit late anyways. What's a good email for you? I'll send you a text and an email confirmation.
123@gmail.com.
Awesome. I would ask that you and the wife just have a pen and paper handy, because I'm going to go over some important information that you're definitely going to want to write down. And then I need to ask you a favor, Hytham. I may be running a tad bit late. I got literally 7, 8 appointments ahead of me. So I may be running a tad bit late. If you could give me like a 15 to 30 minute window, I would very much appreciate that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And then one last thing, if you can grab a pen real quick, by law, I need to give you my state license. We're doing it over the phone. Got a pen handy?
Yep.
Perfect. So write down my name. It's Sean Simpson. My license number is 123-456-789. And then write down the appointment at 5:45. Got that?
5:45.
Yep. And then right next to it, write down important.
Okay.
Other than that, we're all finished up here. I look forward to meeting you and the wife over the phone. What's your wife's name, by the way?
Jackie.
Jackie. Perfect. I look forward to meeting you and Jackie over the phone tomorrow at 5:45. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you then.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So short, concise, and I set the appointment right away. I'm not trying to sell them. I didn't even confirm some information. I don't even know how much the mortgage is. They don't even know that I know how much the mortgage is, right? All I did was I just called them and set the appointment. I'm calling to go over your options with you. They know they filled out the form. They know they sent it in, right? And when you say mortgage protection, most people know what it is, right? Now let me do a final expense appointment. Show you a little bit different. Let's have somebody else be the client. Who wants to be the client?
I can be the client, Sean.
All
Oh,
right, Alex.
you.
I was wondering if you were going to step up to the plate. You ready?
Yep.
Good deal.
Okay, ring ring.
Yep. Hello?
Alex?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Sean Simpson. I'm just giving you a call back here regarding that form that was filled out and sent into our office. This is in regards to the final expense and burial programs that are going on statewide right now. It looks like you put down your beneficiary as Joe DiMaggio. Is he a brother or something like that?
Yeah, I don't recall filling that form out, but that he is my brother though.
Yeah, most people fill this out because they don't want to leave a financial burden to a loved one for a final expense, a burial, or a cremation. Which one were you thinking about?
Yeah, I don't really want to I'm thinking about a cremation and I don't really want to leave that expense for them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Most people don't. That's kind of why we get these forms in here. I don't have time to do it right now. I'm just calling to set up a time to go over the options with you and the wife. Are you married?
Yes.
I did say wife, so I was hoping you would say you are married.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you retired, divorced? Oh, you already said you're married. Are you retired or are you
I'm
working?
still working.
Okay. Is your wife retired?
She's still working too.
Oh, she is. Okay. What time do you and the wife usually get back in the door from work?
Generally I'd say, but we also have to take care of one of our kids still. We're probably both available maybe like after 8 o'clock.
After 8 o'clock at night? Ooh,
Yep.
that works right into my schedule because I got one appointment right after you at 9, so I can squeeze you in at 8 o'clock, it looks like. Do me a favor. Can you what's a good email for you? I'll send you a text and an email confirmation.
Okay. To 2345@gmail.com.
Perfect. Got that. I would just ask that, what's your wife's name, by the way?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. I would just ask that you and Jennifer have a pen and paper handy because I'm going to go over some important information that you're definitely going to want to write down. And then I need to ask you a favor, Alex. I may be running a tad bit late, so if you can give me like a 15-minute window on both sides of that appointment, I would be very grateful. Is that okay?
That should be okay. Yep.
Okay. If I get
Hopefully on
done a
the
little
latter
bit
side of it.
early, if I get done a little bit early, I'll call you a tad bit early. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
One last thing I just need to ask you, since we're doing it over the phone, can you grab a pen and paper? I need to give you my state license number as we're required to by law.
Okay. I don't really have a pen and paper in front of me, but can you maybe shoot me a text with it?
Well, do you have your phone on you?
Yep.
Okay, can you type it in your phone real quick?
Sure.
Perfect. So my name is Sean Simpson. My license number is 123-456-789. And then write down the time of our appointment at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And then right next to it, just put in there important in big letters, important. Because I know
Okay.
this is important to you. You got all that?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to meeting you and Jennifer right at 8 o'clock tonight. And I'll do the best I can to help you out. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. You have a good night.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Yep. Bye now. Cool. So, real short appointments are supposed to be short and concise, right? We're just calling to set up an appointment. 9 times out of 10, they already know. And the only reason why we verify some information is help them recall some memory of what they filled out, right? If they already remember what they filled out, they're not going to question it. You're just going to go right past it and set the appointment. Clear the schedule, set the appointment, and then sync the appointment in. Make sure that they understand what time that appointment is. Make sure it's right after they get home. and make sure that they know that you could be a little bit late. Make sure they write down their appointment. If you have all of those bases covered, your no-show rate is going to go through the floor, right? You're going to have more people show up for your appointment. Why is there a bubble in there? That was weird. So how much time do we got left here? We got about 4 minutes left. Okay, let's end this call. Do you guys have any last minute questions, by the way?
Not a question, but I just want to say to Kelly, please don't take anything offensive. I was just trying to, act like the client or what the client really does, because that's what we do see from clients do when we do call them. Some of them do that. So please don't take anything offensive.
Yeah, no worries. Adam. No, I took a week off furlough, and no, I'm cool. I'm good. I appreciate the input.
Okay, thank you.